Oh man.
What is butt rock? What's that?
I think
question.
what we just did to get this thing going was butt
Yeah,
rock.
seriously.
Someone
let's-
That was
explain
awful. That was awful.
Let's-
Or
It's
what
still not
butts
really
make.
working.
butt rocks.
Do you want me to tell you what butts make, Will?
Hey, what do butts make?
There you
That's where
are. Can you
babies
hear me
come
now? It wasn't stressful. It wasn't stressful.
I
But to-
developed another sty just now.
I literally had to just like take a deep breath because I was getting really frustrated because you guys could not like
it
yeah.
it might have
There's
been
no
stressful for
reason that
Lauren.
it shouldn't have
That's
been
true.
working.
That's true. It might have been stress. Yeah. If I remember the order of operations, my audio worked. Lauren could hear but couldn't be heard. Then I could hear Andrew, and Andrew could hear me, but then Andrew couldn't hear me. And then Lauren couldn't hear me. And then I couldn't hear Andrew. And at that point, we decided that once we devolved to the point that no
What?
one could hear anyone,
We
that's
paid
when we
for
decided.
we paid for another month of restream.
It was like that 15 minutes, had I known, it was worth like every dollar per minute that it would have taken to
Oh
just
my
have paid
gosh.
for a restream ahead of this, knowing we were on like a ticking clock on top of all
I-
this shit.
I've unplugged things. I've replugged like the whole.
Yeah.
It's just been. Oh my gosh.
And the thing is, like, right before that, Will joined with no problems. Will and I talked. Will
No,
jumped off.
yeah, that's the thing is that I use Discord for this stuff a lot now, and it's worked every time. I've never had any problem, and now it is not working even.
Prove it, Lauren. Prove it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're
well,
fine. We're
my head
fine.
hurts now. It just hurts.
And now everybody's here. I haven't even pulled up like my stream management stuff. Yes, that is your name. Yes. If that's a question, the answer is yes in the private chat. It's probably a problem between user and keyboard. Okay. Typically, I would agree. Like, let's say, because I know he's out there lurking with Doc. I would say yes, it's 100% a problem that exists between user and keyboard, without a doubt.
Yeah.
But I do have a decent amount of trust in Andrew and Lauren's troubleshooting abilities.
Not for nothing. I've been doing this for 9 years, so like I'm not an idiot. So
yeah, it's just.
Doc, I know you're out there, so please say hi. Okay, I need to pull up this other window. I don't have an answer for you, Andrew, because I genuinely just did not prepare.
okay, good. Well, that's what you want to hear.
I know it's a bad place to be. It was a day. So
We got this.
All right. Well, Patrick's
Something
gonna
like
wing
that.
it. Living on
Also-
the edge. It's a little
we're just not gonna wing it.
Aerosmith.
Will
Sure.
in Jedi. What was the, if you had books? I'm sorry. What was the book, the movie book that was supposed to be talked about?
The
you know
movie
what?
book.
They talked about it.
Dune.
Jedi brought this up today, and the Page Master.
I
Oh.
love that movie.
That movie.
And they talked about it to the point that they talked themselves.
That's Macaulay
back-
Culkin.
Yeah, and like Whoopi Goldberg is one of the books. I'm trying to remember who the other.
No, listen,
ones
I heard all about it today because
Yeah.
by the time they finished talking about it, I think they were gonna go like stop what they were doing and go watch the Page Master.
Yeah, now I want to watch that movie. I haven't thought about it.
I haven't
in a long
even
time.
heard of this. Is this
It's
something
so
that like
good.
How
should
have
I
you
watch
never
it as a-
heard of this? Yeah. It
Yeah,
was
it's a
dark.
great-
It was a dark
When?
like crossover, like hybrid live action animated film. It was
Yeah.
dark and it was a little scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, the books came. You remember Salty, the Psalm book?
Yeah.
So imagine
Sure.
imagine the non-Christian version of that. And that's what this was.
It was like little book characters, and then like didn't it like okay? I'm trying to remember this. He like
gargoyle
became
one?
animated and like went into the like stories that were the book
Yeah.
characters, right? Yeah.
And one of the books was like the Hunchback of like it was like a gremlin.
Yeah, that's right. And
oh,
one is like a
gosh.
pirate, but he's Long John Silver, but the book is Moby Dick, I think. Like, or
Okay,
maybe.
but real quick,
remembering wrong.
what age would I have seen this?
You would have probably been.
The
You
same
would
time-
have. You would have probably been You probably would have been around 8 to 10.
Like it was
That's like normally when people would see it.
No,
it
that's
was like
the age
around
you
the
would have
time
been
like
when it
Five
came
O
out.
Goes West came out. I think.
Yeah,
Like same
that's the
time
age
zone.
you would have been when the movie came out.
It's called The Page Master.
I used
You
to
should
have a
talk about
tape
this
of it,
movie.
yeah.
This should be your
We should
category,
watch this
Patrick.
movie. Wait, we should do this for cultural osmosis.
Holy shit.
But I guess he knows nothing, so it wouldn't work.
And also, it's not really
Christopher
part of pop
Lloyd.
culture.
No, it's not. But it's just great.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd was one of the
Christopher
one of
Lloyd.
He's
the
the
Whoopi
the
Goldberg.
Hunchback one, right?
probably
Patrick Stewart, Leonard Nimoy.
This is like people we
Nimoy.
didn't know who they were when we were the age that we watched this movie.
Leonard Nimoy.
You know who I'm talking about.
Porkloin.
Le- Listen,
Reginald Schuster. Who else is in this movie, Patrick?
Will and I, when we were playing Pal World, there's like one location on the map that for some reason I can't pronounce. And I will like archipelago. How do you say that, Will? And like,
Azkaban.
at this point, I don't even ask how you say it. He just knows what I'm referring to, and then we just go there.
That's
And
funny.
the thing is, it's a known word. He'll put it in chat, I'm sure.
Archimedes.
No. If I listen, I would tell you the word if I could. So unfortunately, unless Will types in a chat, you'll just never know.
Leonard Nimoy.
There you go. Kreider. Somehow Kreider knows the answer to that too. Kreider, there's no limit to the things you know the answer of.
That is what I assumed you were trying to say, but I also got really sucked into reading who was in the Page Master.
I can never. I just can't wrap my tongue around the idea of pushing out that last
Poosh.
ELAGO. I can't do it. I don't know why. Oh, this is like a Harry Potter ripoff.
No,
No.
this came out before Harry Potter.
This was way.
If
Harry
anything,
Potter
it's like a
ripped this
Gumby
off.
ripoff.
But like, I'm just saying, have you looked at the cover of the Page Master? It's some little kid with circular glasses. There's a dragon in the background. Like, it's just, this looks like if
The dragon's name is Gryffindor.
this
Oh,
looks like
Christopher Lloyd is the guy who works at the library.
I was
The
gonna say, I
trailer
think he's
started
the-
playing on the IMDb page.
I think
and
he's like
so
the
much is coming
librarian
back.
or something is what was going
Yes,
through my head.
exactly.
Yeah.
it looks
Yeah.
like if I
He's a
bought
real
Harry
person.
Potter from Bible Gateway. That's what the cover for the Page Master looks
Does
like.
it make sense now when I said it's like Salty the Psalm book, but the non-Christian version?
I absolutely have to
absolutely
watch
does.
this movie again.
Okay.
We should listen. There were some crazy ripoffs at like Bible stores back in the day.
Oh yeah,
should-
you remember
we
Bible
should go-
Man?
Well, I liked Bible Man, but we should go.
You liked Bible Man
Just kidding, I
with
don't
his
remember which one
cod
it is.
piece and everything. It was like the Batman Forever Batman suit. Like I'm pretty sure Bible Man had nipples.
Oh, it was
If
terrible.
not-
Oh, I know who you're talking about now. Yeah, it was bad. We need to go find those videos. That's what we should watch for cultural osmosis.
Which one?
That's-
those like
Just-
Bible videos.
All of them.
Guys, my head legitimately hurts from all of what we
That
were
was
just doing. a
so
minute ago.
funny. The Page Master literally just like brought me back to another time.
And we have guests tuning in tonight. We told them what I was going to be talking about, and they tuned in. And then we got a text message like 15 minutes into us was like, "Are you sure this is happening tonight?" Like, yeah,
We
they're
weren't,
having
we
technical
weren't.
difficulties. Oh
I'm
my
seeing
word.
now the Harry Potter-esque poster that you're seeing.
It is,
for
right?
this. But I feel like someone might have made that more recently. Like I remember this more like drawn one.
I don't see the post. Can you guys share the poster? You guys keep talking about it.
Well,
but
okay, I was
Yeah,
going
here,
to,
I'll share
but
my
I
screen.
found it at a size that was so tiny.
Oh yeah, because back then the
They were-
Here you go. This is the one that
No.
I remember, but this is the one that Patrick was talking
Yeah.
about. Looks like Harry
Oh.
Potter, and it definitely does.
That's
Yeah.
Bible
And why did
Store
only one
Harry
book
Potter.
get in this one?
That's Bible Store Harry Potter.
Yeah, this
for
is
sure.
this though is the one that I remember like being on the VHS tape.
That
Yep.
looks like a computer game I would have played when I was in second grade.
yeah.
Yeah, that might have been the age appropriate timing for this.
Which, if you guys remember what I just said, 8 to 10.
Yeah,
yeah,
there you go.
We'll just call this my category. We'll just cut all this in to when I'm supposed to talk about books.
I like the nice little trip, the little trip we took down like memory lane before the show even started, though. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Just
that was
remembering
incredible.
technical
I
difficulties.
really want to watch this movie after even seeing like 30 seconds of this preview.
It has like an 8% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Honestly,
Hey, I
that's
remember
generous.
it being great. I don't
That's
know if it'll
generous.
hold up, but I have to know.
Hold on. Let's see. I want to see if there's any actual reviews. Let me. It has 20%. It has 20%. Okay.
20% for a
it's the
beloved
kind of-
childhood classic, The Page Master.
Hey, I think it's doing twice as well as North. The Page Master is the kind of
Wait.
movie first grade teachers would have popped into the VCR in the 1990s to kill time on a rainy afternoon. That's
Yeah,
somehow
that is
that's
actually.
somehow
I
a
probably
critique.
watched this mostly in school. Like,
Mediocre. This mixture of real actors and animation. These are very good critiques.
You know what I
well,
want to do?
they're also
I
by
wanna
adults who probably didn't watch it when they were kids, so that is not a good like.
Lauren, you stepped on what would have been comedic timing gold, but we have to
Now
just
it'll
move
never
on.
work. It's not on
But
any
it had to
streaming
do with
service. You can
it
buy
had to
it.
do with the word mediocre, but like MEATY.
That would be a great like
mediocre,
drag
but
queen name.
That's not far off from where I was going with it, but we're just gonna move on. But I blame you for that joke not working.
Carol
Okay.
did inform
Yeah, I
me
don't-
there's an organic pesticide called neem oil.
Neem
Leonard's
oil, yeah.
neem oil.
That's another great drag name.
I still know what I'm talking about.
Okay, well that's
Just
fine.
not going to. I'll just concede it. I'll just concede the time.
No, Patrick, don't
I liked
concede it.
that I'm totally down to clip the Page Master. That was great.
Yeah,
What an
just do an
unexpected
intro to
surprise.
it. Just do an intro to
Yeah.
it now,
Okay.
and then cut it in.
If you had to pick the best book adaptation of all time, what film would you choose? Just kidding. I don't know what to do. There's not an actual Page Master series, right? Like
No,
like
this is
books.
just a
It's
movie.
only the
One
movie.
boy, one
It's based off
library,
of, like,
so many animated books. The Page Master, coming to theaters March 7th, 1992.
Is that really? Are you?
I don't know, but that
actually-
seems like
that's
about
pretty
the,
damn close. It, like, it's definitely one of those trailers where it's like on a rainy day he went into the library.
Oh, that's good. That was a better time.
It was a simpler
Yeah.
time. I don't know if it was better. It was simpler.
Well, it was only simpler because it was a pain for our parents, but like we didn't have to like pay bills. So
That's
from
true.
that
It's
great to be a
standpoint, it was
child.
a simpler time. Yeah, it was in general. Just being a child is a simpler time.
It's a great thing.
you know, if we go too far down that rabbit hole, then it starts to get sad. So let's just stay on let's ride the high of Page Master and move into this episode so that we can stay happy.
Okay, I'll do an intro for Page Master when we get into the episode, and then
Great.
I'll just cut this.
Are you not
discussion
using my trailer that I just did?
in. No, okay, yeah.
I think you started with like, have you guys ever heard of Page Master anyway?
That is true. Hey, have you guys ever heard of Page Master? I think that is like something like that is how you started.
Well,
Okay.
the answer was yes.
That is
Yeah.
just like the most unexpectedly funny thing that you could have like brought up ever. Like
I know.
I've just forgotten about that movie.
Well, you can thank the creative minds of Jedi and Will. I
Yeah,
now
thank you, guys.
Jedi, as a service to you, I'm not gonna out the really weird music you were listening to. So you're welcome.
It was the
that all
soundtrack
I'm-
to the Page Master, right?
You're welcome that all I'm talking about is the Page Master.
I assume it's some sort of like agrarian chant music or some opera from like Lithuania. Knowing that it's
Lithuanian
Patrick.
opera.
Lithuanian
I
opera.
could see that.
Okay, let's get things started. This isn't what people showed up to hear us talk about.
Yeah.
They showed up to hear us talk about other ridiculous things.
Hey,
Not-
I'm more
not the
excited about the Page Master.
I was gonna say not cutting.
Do we
not
just all want
cutting
to stop
edge
this and just
information
go watch
about
the Page Master? Let's group
Can this
watch the
become a
Page
Page
Master.
Master podcast? Can we do a full Page Master recap podcast?
Yes,
I feel like
please.
that's a hole that's missing in the in the pop culture podcast world is the Page Master. I don't
Yeah.
even think Macaulay Culkin has talked about it on his podcast. So
Do you think he remembers it?
I hope so.
That's a great goal. I don't know. He had some. Not from 97 to 2004 was a rough time for the Culkins.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
okay, here we go.
Oh.
Okay, here we go. Welcome to episode 543 of the Pop Culture Roundtable, the podcast that really and truly is pretty good at technology. We swear. In this episode, we talk about moving art, the Page Master. So stupid. We're talking about the Page Master. And the Trust. I'm Andrew Sale.
I'm Lauren Rubin.
I'm Patrick Hill.
So unplug and replug and check 1, 2, 3, because it's time to reboot another episode.
Is this what my grandfather felt like?
Yes.
Whenever I think of VCRs,
Oh my god.
It says I will just forever.
No,
think
I'm like
of,
just collecting myself because I'm still like have the giggles. Like I'm trying to make myself calm down.
I just forever think of Working Girl, and y'all know why. But like that's all that I imagine is I think of Working Girl.
Who was in Working Girl?
I don't even know. I wasn't allowed to watch it. That VCR was at the the bottom of the drawer. Wasn't allowed to touch it.
The VCR or the VHS? Okay.
That VHS.
You had a special VCR for it?
The thing is, it sounds worse than it is.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that it was called Working Girl just makes it sound bad. The whole thing.
I've never seen Working Girl. I've heard you describe it, but it could be very wholesome. It could be about Sally Johansson who moves to the big city from the rural section of Idaho, and she has to make it in the big city by being the CEO of some corporate company. The way you describe it, though, she's a hooker. That's just straight up.
I feel confident she was a hooker, but I haven't seen it. Actually, Harrison Ford could have been the hooker.
It's funny because like all that I do know about this movie is that like Harrison Ford takes his shirt off in it, so maybe he's the slutty one.
Whoa! Okay.
Now I know why Carol kept it in the bottom of her drawer. Okay, let's move.
I think Hal kept it in the bottom of his drawer. Go ahead.
Your mom's texting me, obviously, right now. Anyway, so okay. Okay, here we go. We like to kick off every episode by going around the table and talking about movies that are 30 years old. What's new, fun, and noteworthy about your week, Lauren?
I wish I had watched The Page Master, but all I did was move. That's why I was not here last week. I feel like moving has become my whole personality now. But
it's your identity. Like that's what happens. For the month that you move, you are either preparing to move, moving, or having just moved. That becomes your identity.
Exactly. Yes, and I've just had like a lot to deal with. Like I didn't have internet for about a week. I cannot use the washer and dryer. The light doesn't work in my living room, but we are carrying on and making things work, and we will get there. It's only been a week.
It is important to point out you did move to Uganda, right? Some just remote part of Uganda.
Because I've been like moving for so long, one of my coworkers keeps teasing me that I must just be homeless, and that's why I can't figure this out.
It's a weird way to tease someone.
No, every time I see him, he's like, "You're still living out of your car."
Oh man,
wow, they sound awful.
No, it's just silly. I feel like it's a legitimate question because it's just been for a long time. But yes, I am figured out moving. Internet is working. It is nice to be at least settled in the new house, not have to worry about as many things as I did a week ago. I don't have a ton of stuff to share. I did get to read that comic that I brought up last time, so I can give a slightly more accurate report. I was pretty close on a lot of my general guesses. No, I absolutely loved it. I immediately finished the first book, and the next day bought the remaining 3 volumes that finished the series on Amazon immediately. So I already have those. I haven't quite started them yet, but I'm super looking forward to this series. It's really, really, really cool. They take some very unexpected twists with the story that there's a lot of stories that kind of use that setup where it's oh, the players get sucked into the game and what happens. But I think they came up with some really cool twists and the way that the characters work in the D&D setting, and the kind of twists that they added to the classes are really, really cool. So definitely going to recommend checking out Die that I mentioned last time. Yeah, it's really, really, really cool series, and I can't wait to keep reading. Other than that, I've really just been like keeping up with other shows. The Traders continues to be freaking great.
Mm-hmm.
Like offline, I want to talk to you guys about this
Yeah,
last episode because
please
I'm so
do.
curious to like hear your opinions. But I love it. There's a new season of Drag Race that started, and it's absolutely wonderful. It's just like great to like. There's a lot of drama this season. Like there's actually someone willing to be a villain, which
There's
hasn't
a
happened
lot
in
of
a lot
drama this season. I
Yes.
watched 30 seconds of that show and had enough drama.
I'm really enjoying this season because like for a very long time there has not been like a real villain in the show because social media factors into it so much, and like
Mm.
people will like really come against people that are like don't play fair or whatever. But it is really fun to have a villain on the show again. They're not like they're just this person is so mean, and it's like just it's not like mean, it's like competitive, but they're like cutthroat, and it hasn't been a character like that on the show for a while, so it does feel like a fun kind of energy that like hasn't been around for a while. And they're doing a thing where like they rate each other for scores, so that's also kind of been fun. And I
That's
can't wait to see
brutal.
where the season
Those things are brutal. That's what I'm going to be talking about a show later in the episode.
yeah
And that's part of it. But then that's also one of the key mechanics in the circle, which I've talked about on the podcast before, is
yeah
rating each other, and the politics that go into that make it
Yeah.
such an interesting dynamic.
And they've done things like this on Drag Race, but it's always been played very fairly, where people base their votes mostly on track record or straight up alliances that they had established ahead of time. So it's like very straightforward why they made these decisions. And there's people who are just like, nope, I don't like them. They're in the bottom. And it's kind of fun to watch the chaos. I'm enjoying it a lot. And then just one last quick thing that I wanted to mention, because I'm just obsessed with Magic Puzzle Company, and everything that they do is wonderful. But they have a like kind of like secret special edition puzzle that they only posted about on their Instagram that is dinosaur themed. So I love this. It is called Big Rock City, and you can order it on Amazon now. So it's Magic puzzles are like amazing puzzles. They're so much fun. But the cool thing about them is like you finish the puzzle, but it kind of comes in parts that fit together, and they move to form a new puzzle. And there's a secret part that goes in the middle that kind of finishes the story that it will be like in the illustration of the puzzle. They're the coolest puzzles in the world. They just so awesome. Like everybody I know who's tried one has just like loved them, and like the quality is awesome. They're great.
I gifted ours to Patrick and Mackenzie. You guys all finished it up the night before my wedding, or the night of my wedding, or something, and then or the weekend of the wedding, and then they gave it back, and I just re-gifted it to my friend Eddie today. Gave him that puzzle, and so he said that they were big puzzle people, and I said, "You've never done a puzzle like this. You're going to enjoy this."
I'm pretty sure we stayed up. You said it's called Big Rock City, by the way?
I think that is it. Let me.
Great, because I just bought it on Amazon. All right.
Yeah, I did.
So,
I did too.
yeah, done. We'll be here February 14th, Mackenzie. Okay, so
Happy
we stayed
Valentine's
up
Day.
till 2 in the morning, I think,
Valentine's
finishing
Day
it. Me, Luke, and Julie stayed up till 2 in the morning finishing it, because that was our last chance to do it. And it was a great puzzle. Great puzzle.
Yeah.
Great puzzle.
I think they do such a good job. Like a dream job for me would be to do the artwork for one of those puzzles, because it's incredibly detailed and intricate, and there's tons of Easter eggs. So that's like exactly what I love doing in my artwork anyway. So like Magic Puzzle Company, if you're listening, you're the coolest, and I love you.
You don't have to whisper. You're talking into a microphone.
Remind me the name of the people that did the puzzle. I'm sorry, the poster that was hanging in your bathroom. It was
I remember it's called The Raid. I'll look it up really quick.
Because that's similar. That's very
yes,
very
yes,
It
that
is
is very similar.
Not all of the Magic Puzzle Company puzzles are isometric, but the one that we did was the Mystic Maze is. Are they all isometric?
Yeah, they're all that same kind of thing where they move around and form a new thing and have like a story thing.
No,
in the
I knew that, but I mean the design being isometric. Like
yes, correct. Yeah, they're all totally different.
Right.
Like they all have different themes. Like that one is like like a maze where like two characters are trying to find each other. There's one that's like a little magical forest with fairies and frogs and cute little things. There's one that's like a like cat bistro where little mice are making all the food, and there's like a sushi train. That one's really cute. They're
Which
like
ones
all
are you
different. There's
sending
a
to
pirate
us?
one. Yeah.
Which ones are you
all
sending
of
to
them.
us?
The D&D one is really cool. That
Are you
one I will send.
But aren't you
guys for
sending
sure.
one our way?
Yeah, I can send you
Okay.
guys some. I have them all
Yeah.
set aside.
We'll
Great.
take care of it.
Perfect.
We'll
Yeah,
take care of
they
it.
are just the coolest. I'm trying to
Guess
find
I'll-
this poster right now.
While you're looking that up, I do have a report back from Carol. For those who are new listeners, this is Patrick's mom. In reference to Working Girl, and I think she gave me a brief description of it. And I think the only way to do it justice would be to read it as if it were a movie trailer. So I'm gonna go.
Sigourney Weaver was being a jerk boss in the corporate world to Melanie Griffith. No hookers.
That's the
So like Devil Wears Prada? I don't know what
it
this
sounds
is.
like the Devil Wears Prada, like the origin story or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Thanks, Carol. Oh gosh.
I'm
My head
posting
still
that poster in the chat. I found it.
Okay, perfect. Is that it?
Yeah, that's gonna be it for me because all I did was moving.
Okay.
So that's
all I did was moving.
yeah.
Sure.
All I do
That
is
was
move,
beautiful.
move, move.
Who are you throwing it to?
Patrick, why don't you go?
Maybe I should give this hookerless film a chance. I like that it's the idea would be I would only normally see it if it had hookers, but I guess maybe I could give a hookerless film a chance. No, I get it.
Who said that?
Will.
Oh, I see. It's the second half of that. I like the Devil Wears Prada. Maybe I should give this hookerless film a chance.
Yeah.
Best review ever.
Okay, we're gonna watch that and soon to talk about
And
Page Master.
The
we're gonna
Page Master Working Girl double feature.
We're gonna do a double feature of Working Girl and Page Master.
Speaking of things that have been made, or premises that have been used over and over and over, I do want to take a minute to just point out the incredible flop that was Argyle that just happened this past weekend.
I have
Is
not
it
seen
bad?
it, but it looks bad.
Argyle over 200 million to make. This doesn't include like P&A. It's ratings aren't good, like reviews aren't good, whatever, that's fine. But opening weekend, so over 200 million to make, opening weekend brought in 18 million, which is just not what you want to see. So it
I
was
just have to say, I haven't seen a movie so heavily advertised in a very long
know.
time. Like I was
that's
seeing
the thing.
commercials for this nonstop everywhere on every social media
the-
thing. I've seen action figures for this thing that already like before this came out for like all the characters. It's insane.
the
It's
advertising
interesting.
budget has to be crazy for it.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting that you say that. So the who's the director or the writer? Like, there's like it's a guy, right? It's the. Okay. What the hell? What was that? What just?
Dude, just do this real quick. Just hold,
just
hold
happened?
your hands like that.
What does
Hold like
this
that.
do? Oh my gosh! What is happening? Oh
my God.
The internet, everybody.
I think you
okay.
can also do a heart. No, it's okay. I might edit this out, but that's the benefit
God,
on your
so
MacBook.
funny.
Anything that has Apple Silicone, you can turn on the video effects, and you have them turned on right now.
For
So, like,
everyone
once-
who's just listening to this, I did something that triggered the birthday balloons while I was talking.
just really
Yes.
unexpectedly.
And then Patrick had me go to a discotheque for about 3 seconds. Okay, so anyway, yeah, this movie, the guy that made this movie, everything about it had like the vibes of like the way that they were promoting anyway felt like it was oh, why am I blanking on the movie with the gentleman?
Not Romancing the Stone, the one after it.
I just whatever the one is. Like,
You're talking about the Kingsman.
the Kingsman.
But
Yeah,
I
it
was
had
thinking
that-
about
Oh.
premise. It's
it
very
had that-
Kingsman, yeah.
It had that vibe, and so I was very excited to watch it. And I like Henry Cavill, and so it seemed like, yeah, this is going to be a win because
I like
it was
a lot of the people.
it was
involved in-
showing
yeah.
out, yeah, and it was showing as if it was going to be this really quirky, fun kind of mystery type deal, and that like action movie. And I'm sad that it's
Yeah.
But to what you said, Lauren, Patrick mentioned this before, like he thought that this had already come out and gone. You were surprised when you found out that it hadn't even come out yet because of how early they started promoting it.
Yeah.
The other thing that I maybe find more telling is the cinema score on this film was a C+, which a cinema score doesn't mean the movie's good or not. It just means that a movie matches expectations in terms of what you think you're going to get when you go in. And so clearly this movie is not giving people what they think they're going to get from it, which does not bode well for it. Now, I don't know. It just seems like this has been a mishit all the way around. No, I haven't watched it yet. I would have watched it if any one of those three things were a positive indicator. I would go watch it. But with that cinema score and with the reviews that have come in and with the box office, it just doesn't give me a lot of incentive to take the time to do it, if I'm honest. Like, I would probably rather... I missed the last Kingsman film. I would rather go watch that than jump into this right now. Because you're right, from a vibe standpoint, that is the kind of vibe you get from it. So...
Can I just take over again real quick? I'm getting texts, like live texts as this is happening. All right, I'm going to take over the full screen for just a hot second because my sister just texted me this. This is a photo of her right now.
Yes.
She took a photo of this VHS that is in her active library at this exact moment. So
wait, is she at her elementary school right now? That's like in the school library?
That's a great question. She's watching, and so I'm guessing she can answer in the chat. Where are you? This looks like there is like a row of like, where I see Home Alone movies in the background too. So is this your house or are you like somewhere where that is? So let us know. Okay,
that
sorry.
Is awesome.
Argyle,
I have a
no
VHS
good.
player. We could all watch it.
Hey, outside of that, this week, big thing, Grammys just happened. I really enjoyed the live performances from the Grammys this year. So if you hadn't had a chance to check out those, I will say it's a bit difficult because they're getting just takedowns left and right. Although eventually the Grammys themselves will end up publishing the live performances on something like YouTube. But take a minute to go watch those. I thought this has been one of the better years in recent memory in terms of live performances. You know. But yeah, that's the. By the way, did anybody see Jay-Z's speech from that?
I didn't watch. The only thing that I knew about the Grammys last night was that Miley Cyrus won, and she changed the lyrics to her song because she won the Grammy. That's the only thing that I saw.
Well, she did shout out that she won a Grammy, like during it, when she was accepting it. Go watch the Jay-Z speech. I liked it. It was slightly a little bit polarizing, but if you have a minute, go pull up the Jay-Z speech. I thought it made a really good point. The point being, you still have to show up. Like, regardless of what's happening, you have to show up. But watch the rest of the speech. But yeah, great performances. Billy Joel, who, if I could only see one person in concert, I would go see Billy Joel. Hasn't released a new song since like 1994 or something like that.
It was with the Page Master theme song.
Yeah, he did the Page Master theme song. He did just release a new song for the first time in however many years that is. He just released a new song this past week, and he played it at the Grammys. So if you want a chance to watch that performance, check it out there.
So legitimately, though, his last song would have come shortly on the heels of him doing the soundtrack for Oliver and Company, right?
So the thing that he said in terms of
1994 was the last song they put out.
Yeah.
So and he was asked about this. I think it was on his interview with Colbert. He was asked about like not releasing music. Was it during that interview? He's done tons of interviews. Who knows? But his response is, I said all the things I needed to say, so I didn't need to write more music. And so he's been touring for the last 30 years, not releasing any new music, but just touring off the music he already had, because from his perspective, he already said everything he needed to say. So I don't know who was expecting to actually get a new song from him, but we got a new song, and he
that's
played
awesome.
it.
Yeah,
maybe he's seen things from a new perspective. So
yeah. And if you want to listen to, according to Billy Joel, his favorite song, go listen to Scenes from an Italian Restaurant. Amazing song. But that's it for me, Andrew.
My sister said that that video was is in her closet in her living room. So she's got a full on, and she says she has several VCRs. So everyone can just go over to her house, or she can mail.
Does she
them
also
out
have like the VCR that only plays the bad VHS?
It only plays the ones.
The adult VHS.
the working girl only VHS player.
Hey. No hookers. That's what.
Hey, this does remind me that I finished Ted this week, and Ted was a blast to watch.
Yeah.
I know you watched it as well. We didn't get a chance to talk about it last week, but I don't know that I didn't really have high hopes. I loved I watched the movie when it came out. I enjoyed the film. This seemed like a cash grab off of that. I'm not terribly interested in some of the other stuff, like Family Guy and things like that. But Ted was, I thought it was a lot of fun as a show. I mean, the previews look slightly wholesome. It's not wholesome.
No,
I mean,
it's fully irreverent.
Very
that
explicit
never
and all those
seemed
things.
like that.
But even more than what you would think. Like they go front door on the vulgarity. But I will say this though, Patrick. Yes, the language and subject matter are vulgar, but the show itself is wholesome. Like the values that are being put in place, the morals that are happening in it's legitimately like it feels like an after school special. Each episode has kind of an moment to it.
Well, it's an interesting twist or a kind of like meeting, because on one hand it's playing to like the terminology and the behaviors of people from
The 90s.
the late 80s, early 90s, or I guess early 90s. And so there's a lot of things we've worked out of our vocabulary since then that they
Like
bring
the Page
back.
Master.
Yeah.
Yeah, tragically.
But at the same time, everybody is still, and it's done in a campy way, but it's like very progressive. So it's kind of applying today's morals, but to the language of the 90s, or like the attitudes of the 90s. And it's really interesting to see how it works in. I will say the first episode feels a little bit different than the rest of the series, because
It's also twice as long.
It's also twice as long.
Yeah.
But the first episode doesn't let you in on how kind of over the top and goofy the rest of the season is. And so it's a little jarring in maybe episode 2, when you suddenly, like, a couple things happen that you go like, well, that was a weird choice. And then you realize, oh, this is actually more in line with where the show goes. So I had a kind of dip where I loved the first episode. I had a dip through 2 and 3, and then it just accelerated out of there in terms of enjoyment. But I ended up really deeply enjoying it. I hope we get another season.
One of my absolute favorite jokes I think I've seen on TV. I laughed so hard that I almost passed out, was in the first episode, and I just felt, from the perspective of a young, like, early teenage boy in the 90s, I felt seen. And I laughed so hard, and Mackenzie was like, I don't get it. Like, she absolutely wouldn't get it, because it wasn't for her. It was for teenage boys who are going through puberty. And it was probably the funniest thing I've ever, top 10 funny things I've seen on a television show. And I won't repeat it because it is vulgar, but it is very, very funny. Yeah, Ted, if you liked the movie at all, you will love the show. And even if you didn't like the movie, but if you're a fan of things like Family Guy and American Dad and that brand of humor, then you will love this show.
Yeah.
I think it's hands down.
Hi, Andrew. Was it weird not going on a cruise this week? Or is it weird? Is it weird that nothing major happened in your life this week?
I've grown accustomed to just large milestone events happening from week to week, and so this week just felt kind of bleh to me.
Was it really even a week?
Yeah, it's hard to know for sure. Okay, so here's a couple things that I got. So speaking of the cruise, that's Disney related. My friend Adam, who works with me, you guys have met him, you know him. Mm-hmm. He just went to California for a family vacation, and he came back with some Disneyland items for me. So he came back with this pin, which is a beautiful, lovely little Disneyland pin.
Yeah.
And then he brought back this, which is a magic key holder exclusive pin. So it's the Disney 100 with Mickey and Minnie, and it's this like platinum chrome pin. And he brought me back this lovely little lanyard for the Disneyland. Oh, it's hard to see it. The Disneyland 100, which is super
lanyards. Cool. I love lanyards to a weird degree.
Right. I have a huge collection because I keep all the ones from different Comic Cons.
Stickers? I never want anyone to hand me another sticker. Never. Do not care. Even pins, if you're not using like a glitter ink or something, like, I don't know that I care. But lanyards, I will take a lanyard from you.
You're so funny.
And keychains.
Kate Dykstra says she
Oh,
worked on this
nice.
Disneyland pin.
That's
so
awesome.
I have a Kate Dykstra
That's her little
exclusive,
mic
y'all.
drop moment.
And then a couple of weeks before that happened, I moved into this place, and this was at the very end of last year. But so much has happened, I haven't had a chance to talk about things. But our very own Jedi Robbies did send some things to me in the mail, and I would be remiss to not show it. So he sent the official Mickey and Minnie birthday button from Disneyland from this past year, which usually I usually go on my birthday. This year I didn't because it was so busy and crazy. So he got me the button, and then he also sent me this original Who Framed Roger Rabbit trading card pack, still in the wax packaging.
Oh wow, that's
you can
awesome.
feel the piece of gum right here. You can feel the gum.
Are you gonna eat it?
Absolutely
open it
not.
now?
But listen. If you're gonna open that, we need to. Not now. Let's do it when it's not capturing in low res. But let's open it. And you can eat the gum, and we'll film it.
And then I'll die 14 minutes later from asbestos
You're not
poisoning.
gonna die. Well, here's what you do. You
You're
eat
not
the
gonna
gum.
die.
You eat the gum. It tastes bad. Then you call the number on the packaging and say, "Hey, this wasn't fresh," and then they'll just send you more gum.
Let's try it. And then one other thing that I got today from I was told not to eat the gum. Okay.
It was kept in an asbestos laboratory.
and I don't know if my friends are still watching. However, I think they may have to they may have left by this point. But I got something from a friend, and I'm gonna try it. I got it from him today. And Patrick, you can try some of this. But my friend Johnny,
If it's not gum, I don't want it.
it's not gum, but I think you'll want to try it.
800-year-old gum.
He does homemade salsas, and he actually wants to start packaging it. I'm actually working on like a logo for it. It's called El Unico salsa, and he is the Lobo or the Wolf. That's what he goes by. He's
Nice.
here. There we go. Texas Lobo. There we go. And he gave me some of his salsa, and I haven't even popped the seal on it, but I did take a couple of chips.
It is a jar with no label.
No label right now. We're still working on
on
it.
it.
So I'm gonna pop
That
this,
could
and
be
I'm gonna try it on
anything.
air.
Got taste
And
for inspiration.
here we go.
Nice.
Well, it didn't pop. I was hoping there'd be like some I did it in
Okay.
the microphone.
Nice
and
ASMR sound.
All I'm saying is, if you said you can eat an unlabeled jar of salsa that doesn't pop, or this 30-year-old gum, I would choose the gum.
What if the salsa popped? Would that be a different
Then
story
I would
for
do
you?
the salsa.
Okay.
100. I mean,
All
here's
right,
the
so
thing. Salsa is probably like hot sauce, where it's got like enough vinegar or whatever. Like it could be on your shelf for 50 years and you'd be fine. What's
Can you
in
hear
it?
this?
Yeah, I hate it. Julie loves it.
Oh, it's kind of it tastes like not smoked, but like it's got a darker flavor to it. What does that mean? What am I saying?
I don't know what you're
Richer
saying.
Or like,
No, it's not
Do
like
you have any details
yeah,
about what is
umami.
in that?
there's
Which peppers?
there's peppers for sure. There's tomatoes.
spicy,
Not too spicy. No, roasted.
Okay.
Roasted.
roasted. There you go.
Johnny wants me to point out that he's Mexican, so it was made by a
Yes.
Mexican.
Very nice.
Legitimately very good, Patrick. I want you to try this. Maybe
try
this will
it
be on everyone's shelves this time next year. Who knows?
Kate, hold on. Kate said, please do an Andrew food review show. If this is the length of the episode, I don't think it can sustain itself.
No, it tastes dark.
It will, but it'll just be on.
What am I
Tubi.
saying, guys? What am I saying, guys? And that's been a food review with Andrew.
Johnny says that the dark hint is his Mexican, his Mexicanity.
Okay, good.
Okay. Very tasty. I'm excited to be
Nice.
a part of branding.
Okay, so
this.
wait, but tell us now. When is it? When do we get the final batch? What's the process of this?
Like the branded batch.
Yeah, I'm saying
Probably-
how much
probably-
longer is
Probably
this
a couple.
like?
You were gonna guess after you asked me, so I just decided to
No,
stop
what
and
I
let
was
you guys.
saying is like, where in the process are we? Is this like batch number 273? and then like at some point we'll feel like we've done enough and then we sell that one? Or is this like basically the final one and I just got to get better jars? Like
This is basically the final one. He's been making this for years, and people like literally beg him to make batches of it and give it to them. And so much so that he has decided he wants to like actually put it out there into the public. And he said, we're close. That's where we're at. So it's really tasty. It is like that. It's got like a roasted flavor to it. It doesn't taste just like fresh tomatoes chopped up, thrown into a bowl with some cilantro and jalapenos. Like this tastes like there's a process this goes through to, and it's like smooth. It's not super chunky. Really tasty. Okay. El Unico salsa. Maybe next year it'll be on your shelf. That's the slogan that we're working with. Maybe next year it'll be on your shelf.
I do like how optimistic the slogan is.
It is.
Yeah, maybe next
but
year.
also realist. Like it carries a level of realism. Maybe
it's just
next
honest.
year. Spiciness, Becca, you could eat this. This spiciness level is maybe, this batch is maybe a 4, I would say. It's not spicy at all, in my mind. So okay, everybody, that's all going to be from me on this. There's way more to talk about, but we'll save it for another day. We've already gone through so much. Up next, let's talk about our categories. Every week, we talk about our master categories. We get those categories by rolling our dice the week before. Those dice give us our categories. We then pick our topics based on said categories. Patrick, do you want to go first?
Okay. I do, but here's the problem. I had books, and so what I need is for you to tell me. What I need is for you the only way I feel like I could care about a book is if it was in movie form. So I need a movie.
Take that again. I see what you're doing. Take it again. I ruined your setup. Sorry, go.
It's not going to work anyway, but I got books. And the only way I can care about a book, as we all know, is if it is in a at least partially non-animated movie form. And so what I'm looking
It's got to be spoken to you in visual form. that's what makes you care about a book.
I need a movie.
I want it performed with the utmost production by professionals.
I need a movie about books, and I was told that y'all would have a movie for me.
Hey, have you ever heard of the Page Master?
You wouldn't believe it, but I have recently heard about the Page Master.
I have newly learned about this movie.
You'd never believe it.
Okay, hold on. Would I have gotten this, and I'm going to cut it in, but would I have gotten this from the Scholastic Book Fair? Did they do any movies?
No.
I'm sure they had some kind of crossover, like, like promotion of like, hey, kids read books, because that's kind of like the point of the movie.
Yeah, but it could also have been like a buy $30 worth of books and get a free ticket to the Page Master.
Exactly. Ooh. Yeah. Like they probably had the characters there somewhere promoting this.
Same with Pizza Hut and Book It. Probably they probably did some crossover promotion.
Yeah.
Now, Mackenzie, you ought to forgive me, but even when I got married, I don't know that I felt as much raw excitement as I did when I got to go to the Scholastic Book Fair.
The smell, the smell, and I couldn't wait to see what Goosebumps book was coming out.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Animorphs books were really big for me as well.
If you would walk by the room they were having it in and you would glimpse like the little like stands with the...
Was it always the library for you guys, or was it
It was the library for me, yeah.
Yeah. Same.
Maybe.
Or the media center. I think it was called the media center by the time I was in
so hyped for that.
Middle school.
I was so hyped for that. Oh my gosh, it's just that was crazy. Anyway, so here's the thing. If you are able to find a copy, I guess we could buy one. But I will sit down and watch The Page Master, and we can have a properly reviewed discussion about it.
I will. My sister, I'm sure she will mail us a VCR and The Page Master. We can watch it, and we'll send it back.
Okay, hold on.
I feel
Let
like
me just
you
up the
could
ante.
get a
If
DVD
someone mails me a VCR and a VHS, we're going to go to a pawn shop and find the oldest TV we can find to watch it on.
Yes. This is
one
a great
that has
idea.
the actual like red, white, yellow thing in
Yeah,
it
or
instead
RCA.
of
But yes, we're going to go find...
the red,
no
white,
one knows
yellow
what that's
thing.
called.
I think we all knew what it was called.
It's red, white, yellow, okay?
We will go find a garbage TV to watch it on.
I love this idea so much, and we should absolutely
so
capture this.
funny.
This is a YouTube video.
I
waiting to
have a
happen, for
bunch
sure.
of VHS tapes actually, so I can contribute to
If
this.
it's not working, girl, I'm not interested.
or Pagemaster.
Yeah.
Okay, I love this. This is a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Ashley says she's in. Anything else that we're looking for? She can probably get us Harry and the Hendersons.
Honestly, we
Yes.
should watch Harry and the Hendersons because
Yeah.
I've only seen like 2 scenes from that movie.
You know what's really funny is that
You've
I've
never
mainly
seen the
seen that
movie?
movie in Spanish.
Get. No, I've
You've
never
only
seen
seen it in Spanish, guys. This
That
was
was-
legitimately my childhood. I watched this.
No, I
movie-
have seen it, but like I watched it many times in Spanish because whenever the teacher was out of the, like we had a substitute, they would play Harry and the Hendersons in Spanish. So I've
What was
seen it
his
in
name in
Spanish like 3 or
Spanish?
4 times.
Say his name in
It's
Spanish.
Harry and El Hendersons. Like it's not
Okay,
any
but
different. It's
Can I ask this question? In the famous scene that Patrick's about to see when we watch this, when
I know the scene.
when Harry pops his head out the window and starts making like the siren sound so that the cars will move out of the way, does it sound any different in Spanish than it does in English? When he goes, "Ah!" is there a different sound effect that happens in Spanish? Or I just want to hear the Spanish person's interpretation of that. That is dictated.
Someone having
in
to
that
yell over someone else yelling.
scene. Yeah.
Love it.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
Actually, I think I have seen Harry and the Hendersons. It's just
Have
been
we
a
started-
while.
Have we started streaming yet? Has this episode started yet?
Hey, okay, but if y'all each get to bring a film, I get to bring one.
Okay.
Yes, definitely.
Man of the House.
Yeah. I would totally be down
Is
for
that the one with Jonathan Taylor Thomas?
Yes,
Am
it
I
is. And
remembering
Chevy
this?
Chase before he was
Yeah.
canceled.
Okay. Yeah. I was like deep in my blockbuster memories.
That's the oh gosh, what is it? Hey, how are you, Jack? Fine, thanks. How
Yep.
are you?
All right, that's it for me. I meant to say Lauren, and I started saying Andrew for some reason.
Because we're both
I
very
love it.
pretty. We're
I
both
have
just
to-
incredibly pretty people to look at.
Yeah.
I was talking to someone today and blanked on Lauren's name. I 100%
I don't have a
was
hard
like
name.
Andrew and
Phyllis, Crenshaw,
Emily,
God.
Lindsay.
What is Linda. Oh, so yeah, Linda something. Linda something.
Linda.
all right.
Listen,
Okay.
Linda.
Listen, Linda.
We now have grand plans for Pagemaster.
This is
Yeah,
a great.
I love
love
this.
this.
I do too, so much.
Lauren, what are you talking about this week?
All right, so I'm gonna keep with my theme of I moved, and that is now my full personality. So I want to talk about moving artwork and all that goes into that, and kind of like selling artwork and all that kind of stuff, because that has just been on my mind a lot. Says the pile behind Andrew as well. But I was just kind of thinking about like basically like you take down all your art, and like I think for people like us, we've collected like a lot, and so moving basically means like you're gonna have to probably get rid of some of it. And like now I'm kind of like, where do we go to do this? Because like I have a bunch of stuff, and I like some Mondo posters, but like probably not ones that are like worth a lot or like super special. Just like I think I've done with this one, and like I don't know, like I've kind of just like opening this up to everyone for like their ideas as well of like, is there like, do you all know, like, have you had success figuring this out? I know you had your like poster sale online for a while, but you were talking about too, like taking it places. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I do have a bunch of stuff that I need to sell now.
Yeah, I had some level of success at the beginning of that, and then once I stopped promoting it, it stopped immediately.
Yeah.
And I've actually thought, because I do need to clear a lot of this stuff out now still to make room for making this actually a functional bedroom for Cooper. Thought about taking up one of our community members who has offered their services to actually sell this stuff on my behalf, and I'm going to give him a cut of it. So I've actually been rethinking of that idea in these last couple of days, because moving artwork is a pain. There's some stuff that I moved to my old apartment that just stayed stacked up or under the bed, and then I moved it again here, and it's like, that's not doing anyone any good. It could be on someone's
agree.
wall, they could be appreciating it, I could be appreciating the space and the money. So yeah, it's a big
Are you just gonna
crazy
staple
thing.
money where your artwork used to be?
Yeah, I feel like that's a power move.
Like
There is
like
like an
a
artist that does something
barbecue
like
restaurant?
That. Yeah.
It'll be
Yeah.
like going to, yeah, you get it.
Patrick, have you sold your stuff a lot or at all? Like, I feel like,
Have I sold stuff?
yeah, you do that. I feel like more often, right? Like, or you
I go
used
through
to?
waves, but
Yeah.
but honestly, like I'm a
Because like
path
even
of,
shipping posters is a pain in the butt. Like,
and that's the reason I have to do it. Like I don't want to be doing it for a long amount of
All
time.
the
So what I'll do
time,
is I'll
yeah.
get like 10 things, I'll list them, I'll get them sold, package them at once, go to UPS one time, and then I don't want to
Yeah.
think about it for 6 more months.
Yeah, that
Like the
makes
fact
sense.
that you have a store where
Mhm.
you at any
Yeah, I go
point
to
could
the
sell
post
something
office
and have to
anyway.
ship it.
Yeah.
That
Right.
would drive me insane. Now, when I was doing community management for Sketch,
We know
I
how
had-
much you don't like shipping things.
oh, it's terrible. And the people in this community
once
know
you
how much
create
that
a
if-
process, it can be easier, but you do have to create a process.
I mean, like, I think it took me a year to send something to Jedi, so people in the community know how bad I am at it. Now, when I did community management at Sketch, I would have we would give out gifts as like achievement awards. So I was having to ship stuff constantly, and I was having to ship internationally
Oh, that's the
constantly.
worst.
And I
International
was
pain.
I was very, very happy. I mean, I didn't lose my job. But not that I was happy to like say goodbye to that community or whatever. But I was very happy when I didn't have to ship stuff every
Yeah.
week because that was too much.
Yeah,
would
I
almost
fully
rather-
understand that.
I would almost rather throw stuff in the trash than have to go through the process of selling.
Honestly, that's almost where I'm at, my dude. That is.
There are a
almost
few
where I'm
things
at.
where I'm like, I don't know if it would even be worth selling because it might be worth like $25 kind of thing, and it's like, who cares? Like shipping's gonna be 15, you know?
Yeah, but if we're able to do like a booth, like I think exhibiting could be enjoyable,
Mm-hmm.
especially because then you just
Did-
leave and you're done. There's no like middle process. So like
Did I
I
tell
could
you what
see
happened?
enjoying that.
Well,
Did I
but
tell
you
you
have
what
to
happened
like
with
get
that,
all that
Patrick?
stuff to and from shows and all that kind of thing. But
Here's the issue. So I was going to do that here. I was going to do it at a local show
Yeah.
here that's right outside my office once a month. I found out you have to have a tax code to do it. Like you have to get like your
Oh.
retail
yeah,
seller's license or whatever the thing is. You have to have a license to do it.
those are like free just for like if you wanted to do this, just so you know, like you can just sign up for one of those, like, and it like you do have to like report even if you didn't sell anything later on, unless you like cancel it. But like it's very easy to get one of those certificates if you want one.
Let's do it.
I
Oh.
think
Well, when someone told me about it, I thought like, oh, that's a lot of hoops to jump through.
Oh, it's like a
But if
form
it's
you fill
free-
out online and then they'll mail it to you. Like I just got a new one because I moved. And
All right, I'm
like,
back in.
Yeah,
I'm back in then. If it's just me filling out a form, then fine.
yeah,
I thought
yeah.
I was
it's
got
very
blocked.
easy.
I got blocked by having to type 4 things in a box. That
No,
was
I thought
too much.
I thought I was gonna have to pay them in order to be able to sell it.
Yeah.
That's what was
No,
going on.
I'll
in my
even
head.
send you the thing. Like you do have to sell or pay them if you make a certain amount of profit. But like if you're only selling at a couple shows and you don't have that much stuff, it might.
We're
not
gonna
even
make some
be-
profit.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
we're gonna sell my stuff, we're gonna sell Patrick's stuff, we're gonna sell some of JP's stuff. We're gonna make it a
Yeah.
whole like pop.
Maybe I'll
culture.
give
have
you
a
my stuff to
license?
sell. Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Bring it all over, guys.
I
It's
was
free.
gonna suggest maybe we have like an M of 1 garage sale on our Slack or something, and people could post things that they want to get rid of.
Lauren, that's a really good idea.
No,
I've been talking
no,
for
here's
months
the
about
thing.
needing to sell stuff. Why
Let's
haven't you
try it.
brought
Let's
this
do
up?
it. I'll organize
Let
it.
me
I'll do all the
tell
work.
you-
I
I'm
like
not,
that idea.
If listen, that's if you're doing all the work, let's do it.
Yeah.
But let me tell you my only concern.
Yeah.
Concern. Our community is made up of some of the most like qualified artists you can find. Like amazingly talented people, and they're producers. Like in the world of like consumers versus producers, our community is largely producers. I love our community. But what that means is that they all make stuff that they're trying to sell to other people, and because they're not consumers, they aren't buying stuff. So I'm afraid that if we did a garage sale, it would be like items that rival going to like any store. I think it would just be the most amazing quality, but
So
we
we're just
wouldn't
gonna have a really badass garage sale. You're not talking.
we
me
wouldn't
out
have
of it yet.
anybody to buy it. We would have
It would
nobody
just be-
to pay for
It would just be a gallery show.
Yeah, it would end up just being a gallery show because no
From
one's
weird
there
stuff that we've
with just
collected,
money.
Yeah.
We need the money people. We need the people that just want to
Maybe-
consume stuff.
Well, we could also. I'll propose this. We can if people are down for it with stuff that they post, we could trade and other things like that. So maybe you don't have to just buy stuff outright. Like that would be fun. So I think it's like we could figure it out.
But you
I know,
have
so
people
I
there
know.
for you. You have
All
people
right,
there for you.
we'll work on this and workshop it a little bit. But I think it would be fun.
The
I love
problem
what Kreider
is
says here.
producing stuff spends all your money.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
says we're
I make
pretty sure we
make
only
money
make
to buy
stuff,
Yeah.
to have money to buy other stuff. That's the thing too. Like we may all end up just buying each other's stuff, and then we have more stuff to get rid of. Like we've just traded things.
Hey,
Oh,
but at
gosh.
least then it's like being appreciated. Like you said, like some of it is like, I liked this poster a lot when I first got it. I don't have room. I've got to like just cull
Yeah.
a few of them.
Garbage
so like
now.
maybe someone else can enjoy it now.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Is
like
that
this
your,
idea.
Is that your category, Lauren?
That's my category, keeping it short and sweet because this is all I think about now.
Okay. I've got the final one tonight then, and that means I have TV, and I've been watching a show this week that I have just adored. It's been a great show, and I can't wait to tell you about it. Lauren, have you ever heard of Netflix's The Trust?
I actually haven't heard of this.
Okay, so The Trust, the byline of the show, by the way, is A Game of Greed. So it's The Trust,
okay.
A Game of Greed. This is a reality show that's very different from other shows. So in most of these other reality shows, there's a cash prize at the end, and whoever makes it through, whoever survives, whoever doesn't get evicted, whoever doesn't get voted out, whoever doesn't get killed, whatever it is, the different gimmicks for these different shows, whoever gets to the end gets the money. And it's like they get whatever, they get the grand prize. The difference of this show, there are 11 contestants, and when they come in to the show, they're in this like incredibly, big, beautiful house on the cliff of some beautiful tropical area. These 11 contestants, when they walk in, they are winners, meaning that they come in as winners of a shared trust. Someone left a trust to them. The trust is $250,000 split equally 11 ways, which means they could just stay there for the entirety of the show, do nothing, party all day, drink, eat, have a good time, and then at the end of that time, have $21,000 in their pocket and walk away. Period. That could be the end of it. However,
True.
every night they have a ceremony where you can vote someone out. And all it takes is one person voting your name for you to get evicted.
Oh.
And you break the trust. That's it. That's the basic premise of the show. So people can stick it out for all 11 or 12 days or whatever the thing is, and they could all walk away with money. Or if someone rubs you the wrong way, you can get them out, and then the money that is shared, the total money package that's shared, you get a higher percentage of. So the less people there are in the house, the more money you stand to make at the end when they divide out the trust to whoever's left in the house.
Okay. But is there like any, I guess like, how does this work then? Like, why would you write someone's name down or not? Or
Great
like,
question.
'cause-
You might write
yeah.
someone's name down literally because they disagreed with you in a discussion about how you're feeling.
Yeah.
You might write someone's name down because you think they may be wanting to write your name down.
Yeah, maybe you think they're a loose cannon, and so you just want to get them out
Maybe
to
you
protect the
think-
money for everybody else.
Right. Maybe you think they're undeserving of it for one reason or another. You found out what they do for a job, and you don't think that warrants them the same level of chance at this money that you have. You could you could do it for whatever reason you want. And here's the kicker of this whole thing. It's completely anonymous. You walk up to the host of this show every night down on the cliffs. You walk up to her just by yourself and you tell her, I'm either going to vote someone out of the trust or I'm not going to vote. I want us to continue to share the money. Those are your two options. And that's it.
What is your incentive to keep anyone, I guess? Like, because you would win more money if
Well,
everyone else is gone.
But
your incentive to keep people is the trust, right? Like your trust that these people are all there as winners. What gives you the right to be more of a winner than someone else?
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? Like it's a real moral quandary of this show. And it's interesting when you first walk in, everyone, like when I first heard this, I'm like, well, hey, I could go for an 11-day all expenses paid vacation to this wonderful house and then walk away with $21,000. Why not allow everyone to have that same level of experience? The second I said that, Becca was like, are you kidding me? We can make more money by voting people off? So it's like you have these two different mindsets of people going into the show. What's cool about the show too is there are no celebrities. You will not know any of these people. These are just regular people who have regular lives. There is a millionaire who is in the mix, and it does come out that there's a millionaire because they do have these little things they call tests. And you were talking earlier about having to rank people. This show, one of the tests is they ask everyone to collectively decide from first to 10th how, like, put yourselves in order of who is the smartest. And so watching these people have to decide who the smartest is and who owns that. And then they take that same list and they say, okay, let's list people out or put people in order of the biggest leader to the least leader, and watching who comes to the forefront of that. And then once they do that, which is not smooth, by the way, people don't agree, if you could imagine, who's the smartest and who considers themselves the greatest leader in the group. They then pull the leader out of the group and say, okay, now you rate everybody else in front of them. And he has to put them in order based on loyalty and based on trust.
So they're creating moments of they're either divisive or can generate like a tribal mentality or whatever.
Yep. And there are also these moments that happen in this thing called the vault, where two people usually get sent to the vault. And in that vault, they have a choice where they get an offer that's handed to them. And there's two offers. One that's handed to them that says, this is going to benefit you as an individual, like here's money specifically for you, but it's going to come from the trust. Or put money into the trust, but there's a consequence to doing so. And so all of that stuff happens. And what I love, love, love about this show is literally everything is honor system. The show doesn't tell anybody anything. The show does, like the producers don't mandate that information is available to everybody. They leave it up to the contestants to decide what to tell and how much to tell. And it's truly like a new take and a new spin on this, like this experiment, right? Like this social experiment. It's a new take on that. And I love the freshness of this show. You will love people and you will hate people, but I think you will absolutely love this show. And it's on Netflix. It's called The Trust. I think you should watch it.
That's very interesting that it's just like fully honor system. Like
it's crazy. It is crazy. But there are consequences to your actions, but it is honor system on how you explain what your participation was in things. So
also
anyway.
The Trust is a 2016 crime drama with Nicolas Cage that has 63% on Rotten Tomatoes. So if you're not interested in what Andrew just talked, 2016. So if you're not interested in what Andrew just talked about, you could also check out that film.
Also, ironically, no hookers. So this whole episode is a
Will's not gonna
hooker-free
like it.
episode.
Yeah, Will's not going to like it. That seemed to be a big thing to him.
Okay, everybody. I think we've made it to the end of this episode.
Andrew, let me ask you a question.
Yes?
Real quick.
Yeah, I'm listening.
This is not related to
anywhere.
anything.
Yeah.
I want you to hum what you think of when you think of patriotic songs. Same for you, Lauren?
Yeah, that was exactly what I was
What's
thinking
number
of.
2?
The other song that they play at baseball games. Just kidding.
Okay, never mind. That's not mine.
Okay. Another one. Oh, no.
Y'all,
That one?
No. My second one would have been...
boring.
I don't know how to hum it. If
Go ahead.
tomorrow all the things were gone, I worked for
Ryder
all my
picked a
life.
great one.
And I had to start again with just my children and my wife. That's
So none
Lee
of you
Greenwood.
think of
Lee Greenwood, everybody.
none of you think of 3 cheers for the red, white, and blue.
No.
No.
Especially not with this, actually.
That's the dance for it. That's like basically the Carlton.
Someone was in marching band and the rest of us were not.
Yeah, it was when he was homeschooled. It was
Listen, that
him
symbol,
and Carol smashing cymbals around the kitchen as they
that one symbol hit in "Proud to Be American." It's like nails on a chalkboard to me.
And I gladly stand up.
Pause.
Yeah.
Oh, I
next to
hate
you.
it. Hate it. All right, whatever.
Whew. Wow, I don't know where that came from, but God bless America. Am I right, everybody? Hey, you can find us over at mof1.network, where you can find show notes and links to all the stuff that we just talked about, including so many hours worth of, I mean, it's probably months worth of content at this point, right? Like if you were to listen
You
to it
just sat and
beginning to
listened?
end,
Yeah.
like if you just straight listen to it, it'd be a couple of months worth of content.
Yeah.
but we've got
you would
hundreds
be a
of
different person at
episodes.
the end of it.
You would be a different person. Not necessarily better, but you would be
Just
different.
different.
But you can find all that over there. While you're there, you can also click on the Slack icon to join the conversation each and every day. Those are people in there from all over the world, chatting at all hours of the day, talking about all sorts of different things. So join the conversation in there. And hey, really join the active conversation when we record these episodes over on Twitch, twitch.tv/M1podcast. You can follow the show so you never miss it. But if you subscribe, you get even more access and you can be a part of the fun that we have here and actually participate in the show when we record every single week. It doesn't even have to cost you any money. If you have Amazon Prime, every month you get a free Twitch subscription. Just click to throw it our way, and we will give you a high five and a hearty handshake for helping us out. Also, rate and review the show wherever you listen to podcasts. If you leave one on the Apple Podcast, please let us know. We'll go read it on air. We'll read it with whatever accents you've asked us to, unless they're insensitive, in which case I'll have Lauren do it. It's going to be a fun time. It doesn't have to cost you any money. Doesn't have to take very much time at all, but it does help us so much with the algorithms. How are we doing in Lithuania, Patrick? Last I checked, I think we were number 4 podcast in the world.
Moldova.
Moldova, that's what it was.
Yeah, it's not good news.
The Moldovanese
The Moldovans have abandoned us.
soured on us. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
They actually
I'm
just
changing the name of the episode to "We Love You, Moldova," and see if we
issue-
do better next week.
The issue, Lauren, is that Page Master comes out next week there, and we've spoiled the whole film for them, and they're just not.
I don't
happy
think we
about it.
actually truly summarized the movie because we just kind of said what we sort of remember.
All of that said, please just tell people about the show. It doesn't have to take you very much time at all. Share an episode or two that you've liked along the way, or share the link that you're listening to this right now, or share the link that you're watching this right now. It's super easy to do. We want to see new friends inside this room, so go ahead and do that for us. We thank you for your time. That's
Sure.
going to be it for us this episode, though. You can find me on the internet at Andrew Sale with 3s instead of E's. Lauren, where can people find you now that you've moved?
I'm at Not Cool Co. everywhere except for my address.
And Patrick?
At Page, Master and Commander.
That's a good handle.
Thank you.
That's
Can we
really
just
good,
take a
especially
moment to
because
just-
those are also a book series.
Thank you. Thank you.
And those are real people.
That's for me.
Just for you.
It's one guy.
4
Like
down.
one
It's
guy
just
had to spend his day going, "Ah!" and then he had to do another take. It was like,
Do you think
then-
that he recorded different ones, or do you just think he pitched up and down the EQ?
same one. Like he did
Just the-
3, and then he pitched those each like 4 times, and so
Yeah.
then he had more than that.
3 cheers for the red, white, and blue. I wish if you're just listening to this, that has less effect. But there's a dance move
the
that
dance
Patrick
that goes
did.
along with it is
It honestly
really what
makes it. Okay.
yeah.
On that note, we're gonna get out of here until next week. Oh, we gotta roll dice. What are we doing?
Oh yeah, I almost
Lauren,
forgot
how
too.
dare you?
I forgot too.
Gosh, Lauren, I'm over here trying to leave, and you're not letting me remember.
I forgot.
14. and present.
Mackenzie says, I love that no one knows the lyrics after that. I didn't know that those were the lyrics.
I
Yeah.
don't even know those are the lyrics, actually.
Oh.
What number did you say? I'm sorry.
14.
14 is going to be front page.
That's right up your alley, Patrick. And
Kreider, I
have a
don't-
number.
Sorry, go ahead.
I have number 6, is what I was going to say.
No, number 6.
Number 6 is going to be design. And
Okay.
I got a 16. So that is going to be podcast/YouTube.
3 cheers for the red, white, and blue. Hands are ready. Hands ready for the red, white, and blue. Hands are ready too. Okay. On that note, everybody, we are going to get out of this episode. You've been a blasty blast, and we promise we're not drunk. We'll see you next week. But for now, I'm Andrew.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Patrick.
We've been doing this for a long time. Peace out.
Adios.
Bye. Okay, hold on. Let me find it on this page real quick.
Okay, we were this.
Wait.
fully
That
fits
is.
into the
It's
weird
3
technology.
cheers for the red, white, and blue.
3 cheers for the
No,
red,
it's
white,
no,
and blue.
it's not. It's not part of it. That's from something else. So the song is "Stars and Stripes Forever." It's by Sousa. This all started today because I mentioned SZA's performance from the Grammys, and then Jedi Robbie's was like, "Yeah, I was trying to look up Sousa earlier today, but it kept giving me SZA," and I was like, "Who's Sousa?" And it's the guy that he was trying to listen to this song because he just wanted to hear it. Like, that's all. Whatever. It's fine.
He was trying to listen to what song?
Da 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 da. I think he was taking a bath and he was like, "I'm gonna light a candle, put on some Sousa." I don't know.
Jedi was?
This is the music he chose during Pal World that you weren't supposed to
Jedi,
mention.
why were you trying to listen? Why are you trying to listen to?
He tried to tell me. He tried to say, and I don't know that this is wrong. That the flutes are underappreciated in that song.
Because it's only cymbals. I honestly didn't even know there were notes. I just thought it was crashing cymbals the whole time.
Yeah.
But those lyrics, I did just look it up. That
What
is
are
not
the
the
lyrics?
lyrics to that song.
Can you
There
go
are
with
not
the rest of
lyrics.
them? Can you go
I
with the
don't
rest
think
of them?
there are lyrics, but it's not that.
Come
There
on.
might be, but it's not 3 cheers for the red, white, and blue.
Is that actually the first song that you think of as like patriotic? song?
100%. So what happened is
I'm a Yankee Doodle dandy.
Yeah,
He
I think
said-
of
he's
August
a
before
Yankee
that
Doodle
one.
boy.
So the
A
name
real
of that
life-
song is Stars and Stripes Forever. And today he said he was looking up Stars and Stripes Forever. And Will said, "How does that go?" And I went, "Stars and Stripes Forever." That's what I did. And it turns out that's the correct song. It was a complete accident. Like,
When you
I
fall
was just
ass backwards into being right about something. Oh,
and
my
then
word.
he was like, "Yeah, it's that one." And I was like, "No, it was not really that one, right?" And it was really that one. So
You can really do anything. If you add this to it, it becomes more patriotic.
it's confident looking, right?
If tomorrow all the things are gone, I'll work for all my
That
life.
song is on the same level as Butterfly Kisses to me for some reason.
Oh, and what about
Butterfly
Christmas
kisses.
shoes?
Oh
Sir,
my
I
God.
want to buy these shoes.
It's the Elmo and the Potty GIF. Oh yeah, it is kind of.
Oh, that is the Elmo on the potty chip. It's also the Jim Halpert bed
That's probably
bug
why it
dance.
is.
You know what I'm talking about, Patrick? The
From
bed
The
bug thing.
Office?
Said, did they seem smug? Oh, they seem so smug.
So
They just-
smug, just. Yeah.
Okay,
That episode
everybody.
makes me uncomfortable. Okay.
Bedbugs are gross.
He makes the right choice, though. That's the important thing. You think he's not going to for a minute, but then he does, which is the good
That's true.
Okay, everybody, you are a blasty blast, and we will see you on the flippity flop.
Yeah. Let's all go listen to Stars and Stripes Forever. That's what we should do.
Hey, stay
We're
tuned.
gonna learn the words.
Stay tuned for real for our Page Master Watchathon.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Or
And
VHS
one
summer
garage
camp.
sale. Yeah.
VHS summer camp.
VHS.
Yes.
VHS summer camp.
Yo,
That's
let's
the
call
idea.
Mutant and get them to back this. Like,
Can we get, if we can get a lineup and just make it like a summer series?
We have to decorate a room in just like wood paneling
It just looked like someone's basement. Yeah, like
we need to let it rain in there and then let it sit for 18 days so that it gets the nice mildew smell, and then we can watch the movies.
I don't know what kind of basements you hung out in, but
Wet ones. Only wet.
That one.
Only wet.
Oh, someone was rich.
Oh, someone had indoor
someone had a
plumbing.
finished basement. Yeah.
Okay.
Someone could afford a plumber. Okay, I get it.
VHS series, VHS summer camp. That's what's happening.
I do like
right.
that. Yeah.
All right, everybody, we're gonna leave. I'm gonna start waving real aggressively.